How's everybody doing this morning? I wish I had some better news for you. T-Rex, you get to go out the door. All excited as usual. 79 degrees at 8:30, July 11th. The second July 11th in a row where residents of Vermont especially are waking up to a disaster area. It was the worst case scenario, not in the tornado department in New York, although there were a few tornadoes reported and some damage. But really the damage in Vermont, again, is historic. Where to start? Karl Weller, our friend from Out the Door, Weather and More Skiing at Mount Mansfield every day, lives up on the one of the ledges, not on Mansfield, but in Stow, Vermont, and he's uphill, and all the water that falls up there drains downhill into the Winooski River. And Karl said it started pouring around 5 or 6 o'clock, and then he could not believe that before 8 p.m. he already topped his rain gauge being 3.5 or 4, and then he emptied it and went out again this morning, and it had topped again. So it says at least 7.5 inches of rain in Stow, Vermont, which is the most I've seen. Looking at all the cocoa raws, you have just incredible widespread rain, 5.6 in Heinsberg, and then all the way across the entire Winooski River Valley. There are 3 to 5 inches, but it all fell in about 8 hours. That's the amazing part. That's about 6 weeks worth of rain. Karl said he's never seen it rain so hard. And there's the Winooski River Valley. I know it doesn't look like much of a valley. I mean, it's in the northern Green Mountains, and all that water pours down all the mountains into all the villages on its way to Lake Champlain. So from Cabot, Vermont, Anson Tebbets posted this morning. Downtown Cabot flooded, and then I can't remember everyone's name, but I really appreciate all this. And Plainfield, Vermont.
Here, the road is gone.
The NBC5 station is there, and the road is just cut right in half with a home undermined. That's Plainfield. That's east of Barrie and Montpelier. Last night in Barrie, National Guard had to do rescues. Cumberland Farms, right in the village, flooded. 4 feet of water right at the gas pumps. 3 feet of water, it looked like. So the guard was asking if anyone wanted to be rescued. Waterbury hit hard again. There's the Winooski River gauge. Another major flood, back to back. And this is probably about the 5th major flood disaster in Vermont in the last 10 years. I was going back to Irene. How long ago was that? And it wasn't just Vermont, too. Northern New York, northern New Hampshire, Littleton, New Hampshire, and even into parts of west central Maine. Here's some video from, or an image from Snow King. Buffalo Snow King was on tornado patrol yesterday, and he says it looked like there may have been an EF2 tornado. So there were a couple of tornadoes, but I think in the tornado department, even though there were so many warnings yesterday, we kind of dodged a bullet with the tornadoes, but the flooding was all it could be. There is the satellite image showing Beryl's complete track, beginning as a tropical depression on June 28th, and now crossing into Canada this morning on July 11th, wreaking havoc the entire way. Now, we may have looked like tropical downpours in northern Vermont, but it had a lot to do with the fact that down here near Boston yesterday, the dew point was 75 to, in some cases, a couple of the gauges showed 80, although the Blue Hill official dew point yesterday was about 75. That really incredibly humid air clashing with cooler air and all that energy and momentum that Beryl had for the upward vertical velocity of the air, just condensing out all those precipitable water maps we've been showing of 2 inches or more precipitable water in the atmosphere. That is, if it were to all ring out at once, it'd be more than 2 inches. It wrung out over 8 hours. So feeling really bad. Andy got this image this morning from Barnet, Vermont. Route 5. How many times did we travel Route 5 in our Linden State College days? and it's sad. It's going to take so much work and so much financial resource to rebuild this stuff, and it just keeps happening year after year. So I don't know, just like retreating from the ocean, you got to retreat from some of these rivers, get uphill a little bit, move some of these businesses that keep getting flooded uphill. I know, easy to say from here, right? So there's really not too much good news. This cloud over Boston, this is stratocumulus cloud, and it looks like there's an altostratus kind of left over from yesterday, from all those showers and storms. It's really lost its oomph. There's just a chance of a shower or a storm today. There is a high surf advisory in effect from Rhode Island to Cape Cod. It doesn't look that high. There's the warm winds surf cam this morning. The Block Island buoy says 6 feet 7 seconds. So that's not a ground swell, that's a wind swell. So yeah, it's kind of choppy, and the wind is still gusting. You can see it's still gusting past 20 miles an hour from the southwest as the remnant of Beryl is decaying over near Montreal right now. So there's still a pretty good pressure gradient, but it's going to continue to weaken. The pressure gradient's going to weaken. I think it's going to get a little less windy over the next couple of days, and it may in fact get so light wind that we may end up with an onshore breeze again by the weekend. So try and focus on the forecast now. The Boston 5-day meteogram from the Euro says we're not going to hit 90 today or tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday. As a matter of fact, yesterday the Euro had us at about 93 or 4 with a dew point in the 50s. Today it's in the 80s, but the temperature's in the 80s, but the dew point's back to near 70. So there is uncertainty. The GFS actually has quite a bit of rain coming in here on Saturday, and also not 90 degrees. But inland yesterday, it did hit, and Boston only got to 89 yesterday only, and with those dew points though. And inland, it did get into the 90s. So today would be day 5 of the heat wave, and some spots away from the shore that get more sunshine. Actually beginning to sprinkle a little bit right now here. So there are some scattered showers. So now we turn to that other feature that's been an enigma, a mystery for me, to see what happens to that old upper level low that went out east of Bermuda. Now look at it firing up as it retrograded back to east of Florida, north of the Bahamas. The National Hurricane Center has it as a purple dot. Well, the Hurricane Center has it a yellow X. Our Zoom Earth satellite imagery has it at a purple dot. And this cluster of showers and storms, though probably not becoming a tropical storm, is going to start moving slowly up the coast. So how about if we look at this Euro Northwest Atlantic sector? There's the rain in Maine with the last of Beryl, some scattered showers around here. And then here comes that rain chugging toward the north, kind of slowly, moving in late tomorrow into southern New England after soaking much of the mid-Atlantic up to New Jersey. And then it's kind of broken precipitation here, especially tomorrow night into Saturday. And the GFS is more robust. GFS actually has more water than this. This is now in southern New England. The next batch of heavy rain comes in, and it's probably gone about Saturday afternoon or so. And then Sunday, a brighter day, maybe a little bit less humid. Let's go to the wider view, the lower 48. It's the one we show every day from pivotalweather.com. And now we watch the front that's been here for so long, not really moving. Scattered shower and a thunderstorm possible Monday and Tuesday. Where is the cold front? Where's the dry air from Canada? Well, it's a strong low moving north of Maine. Look at that deep storm in the lower 990s. That's going to be more wind for us Tuesday into Wednesday. Now Thursday, the front stuck right over New England, so it's slowing down since the guidance of the last couple of days giving us heavy rain on Thursday in central and southern New England. And it would be Friday, what's that, the 19th of July. That's the new goalpost for kicking out the heat and humidity here. And it looks like there's another even colder front north of that one, so hopefully that works out. Here's the Boston 14-day from weather.us. And you can see another heat wave is in the forecast. What's that? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with scattered showers and storms. And then finally, with late next week, maybe a day where the high temperature is not even 80. And those nighttime lows are going to get into the 60s with much less humid air coming at us. All right, we're at 10 minutes I'll play a snippet or two of what Karl had to say last night. I've got a nice time lapse of the sun going down and the clouds really ripping by here yesterday. And although I feel like guilty because we were having fun around here yesterday on the water, keeping cool while so many others were facing disaster. But Weir coaxed me into taking another shot at standing up on the foil board, and I got it. He also has some pretty good wipeouts from the day before. I don't know if I'm going to show those, but another afternoon on the flight board. And now Weir's off for his golf adventure with Bob and Eric and the guys in Connecticut. So fare thee well. Weir, talk to you later. And I think I'm attending a Bass River event this evening. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe. All right, still same day. I'm going to go up there with a little update from our friends in Stow, Vermont, sending some really dramatic images this morning. The mountain road that takes you up to Mount Mansfield in Stow is undermined. So you're trapped below or above top notch. Thank you, Karl. And
got a new river running through the driveway up to Nebraska Knoll Sugar Farm.
The Cody family, Nebraska Knoll Sugar House, also Stow. The Cody family is stranded at their house as their long driveway is undermined. Dramatic, and this is just one town. So many from northern New York, northern Vermont to Maine and New Hampshire. Same predicament this morning. The remnant of Beryl. Now, some more uplifting and more from yesterday. What's that bell, Rex? What's that bell? Wow, look at all that green. Does that mean someone's gonna make some green over here? Jetty Marine green?
Oh yeah.
What you doing? What do you got?
Just watching a little stock market action, trying to make a little money to supplement my retirement.
He's got a lot of hobbies.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm editing out the door weather and more, and we are hopefully is beefing up the account. This is for our Thursday and more, because and more always comes from the previous day, and Beryl looking ugly. We're still on our morning coffee.
Morning here.
T-Rex loves sitting in the sun, even it's hot, even when it's hot, and we get the ship going by. So how about a little time lapse?
All right, now I'll do the time-lapse part. The day is young. Who knows how many things we're going to do today.
The salt and the sweat, Rex. It's not really cooling me off. It's 3 o'clock. Boston Logan is 88. I don't know if you can read that. Looks like the warm spot, 92 around Sunapee. You got your dew point, which said 81 in Nashua early. It's come down, but the dew point down by Chesapeake is 75 to 80. Oh, there's a dew point of 92. Yeah, that's a typo. The center of occluded Beryl right in there. And the severe weather is going off. Look at all those tornado warnings. Tiny cells, but every one of them is potent. Incredible vertical velocities, up and down and round and round. And Blue Hill also just gusted to 30 miles an hour from the southwest. We're on the north side of a hill, so that southwest kind of blocked for us, but you can see it deflects down right there onto the water. And we're gonna go back out on the water now. It's that time of day. Trying to tame the garden a little. Make some space. There's a bunch of peppers in those weeds, and apparently I disturbed some bees. So bees said get lost. Oh, they just went in there. So there's some bees that live right in there. They live in there. Come back when we're sleeping. When are you guys going to bed? It's not even my garden. It's theirs. Borrowing it for a while. Oh, we got some action now. Did the market just close?
Almost. Close enough.
Close enough?
Close enough. Time for a little fun.
Not too crowded down the beach today. Sometimes it gets a little too warm for the beach. How's Sterling in Florida? We got these toys though, and that water's still in the 60s.
I don't know, I haven't touched it today, have you?
These ducks just kind of sleeping out there. It's a duck siesta. We'll wake them up. Oh yeah, and some assembly required every time you bring it down to the beach.
Not much though, pretty easy.
He's already
Within 5 minutes you can have it all.
he's already put the wings on. They come down separately. And then the power plant.
This baby's heavy, heavy, heavy.
Heavy duty.
They're gonna get lighter and lighter with time, I'm sure.
Yeah. So how long does that battery last?
Hour 20 minutes run time or so.
Yep.
So
Cool. And,
stop and start. You could have a couple hours of playtime.
Yeah. So
Playtime.
you don't want to go 2 hours offshore.
Oh man. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Coach Lundstedt wouldn't let me get off until I was able to get it planing on the foil. Thanks, Weir, for making it happen. Excellent coach. The balance is real tricky. But once you're on the foil, you can't even feel the waves anymore, or the wind. It becomes non-factor. He's practicing his tight turns. He says he can get sideways a little bit. Nice. That's a little different. So our out-the-door weather more friends from Mount Mansfield, Vermont are reporting some pretty good thunderstorms right now.
All right.
Oh, sorry, caught you on the phone. You always catch people on the phone no matter where you go.
That was yeah, they get some good. We have not much updates yet, though, huh?
Subsidence here, sinking air makes sunshine. Rising air over New York makes all those tornado warnings. Volatile, Florida-like atmosphere with the remnant of a hurricane. It's now called post-tropical cyclone Beryl in northern New York. Way over there in the solar glare. Thanks for the vids, Karl. That family of ducks we disturbed earlier, they were just walking over the jetty. Those are the babies. The babies are almost as big as the parents now. What happens when they're the same size? What do you do? Look at them. It's like, don't even come near my kids. I will whack your head off. Wow, it's pretty windy, Kevin. Where are you? Is the sailboat race happening or what? I said 14 knots, feels more like 17 or 18. Those parent ducks just protecting their children. Aww. And much like yesterday, we're doing golf afterwards, but this time it's the two-hole par 2. And it's past 7 o'clock. We've got Metallica on WZLX, so you know it's past 7. And the bees allowed me to weed a little bit more right there, but they said, well, why don't you go play golf now? And I said, okay. Thanks for the half hour. Thank you, Jeff Kent, for the update. The group are racing over in Boston Harbor tonight. And he says unfavorable things about racing in Boston Harbor. Well, at least we know. Thanks, Jeff. Hope all is going well. Kevin, I went around your boat and that flight board today. Guess you're not racing either. All right, Weir's kicking my butt in golf, but there's such a spectacle going on. I have to make a little time lapse of how fast these low clouds are moving relative to the high clouds. It's not every day that you get a post-tropical storm going through New England. Not to mention the fact that it was historic, earliest, strongest storm on record in the Atlantic hurricane season. It's now been impacting for more than 2 weeks, I think. Well, at least 10 days. Anyhow, let's do a little time lapse of the sun going behind the high clouds and the low clouds whipping in from the southwest. .23, sunset was 2 minutes ago. 53-minute time lapse. Flash flood warnings in northern Vermont. How'd that go, Karl? And we've got a rear Lundstedt cooking chicken and the waxing crescent buck moon. Very windy, but pleasant. In North Weymouth, Massachusetts. Until tomorrow, Captain Space Time.